Blizzard Cup. I'm not good at this, guys.
That's all right.
We have...
Tasteless only drinks out of goblets.
I do. I'm sorry, guys. We at the bottom left. Our Zerg player down one game. He needs to come back. His ID is...
MVP to me.
He's looking, once again, very focused now. I think he's probably put some of that stress behind him. And that is... I don't have the time. I can't figure it out. In the bottom right, we have our Terran player. Already winning one GSL. Can he do it again?
Slayers, MMA.
Can he? Oh, I think so, Tasteless. He's definitely a player that's going to, retire one day with more than one GSL trophy.
Yeah, MMA is not going anywhere. Now, MMA, remember, he is, against MVP, out just picking builds that are actually better suited to take on MMA than MVP was when he was trying to take on MMA. So I barely got that sentence out. Basically, he was picking great builds against the player who's the best at doing that in the world. Is he going to do it again this time with DRG? DRG's already down one game. MMA has to, probably be grinning inside, saying, "Oh, I think I've got this. You already bungled one game."
Well, I seriously, I think you're right with that last part. He's got to feel confident because even though he's very good at picking his builds and out-strategizing his opponent, that definitely wasn't the case in the last game. That was last game. It was all about DRG not having a Spore up, and it cost him dearly. So, well, we will see, man. Oh, the drone sneaks in. Not a huge deal. He's going to count the gas, though.
And
we're going to wait for...
it'll probably come back to normal in a second here.
So
that rarely happens, but the internet is a little weird sometimes.
Yeah. He saw the command center first. Now, all he wants to do is keep this drone alive for a bit and check the timing of everything. Command center and then seeing one gas immediately before barracks, that's a pretty big giveaway on what's going on. That definitely looks like it wants to be a reactored Hellion opening after the fast command center. Yeah. So DRG can go ahead and get ready for that right away.
You know what he could do? He could, discard that build and then just go into double Banshee.
Oh, God.
He actually could do that.
He could do all sorts of things like that.
There's other options there.
It's a lot of tricky stuff. But you got to remember, in a finals, there's a fine line when you switch your builds. You have to just stay calm. It's a battle of who makes the fewest mistakes, not who plays better a lot of the time. And I know that sounds like it's the same, but it's not. It's not always the best player. It's a player that is not going to screw up. He's not going to fold under the pressure. So switching his build into something like that, unless he had already planned that, like doing it on the fly, most of the time is actually the wrong choice for a player on the stage working for this much money, for this much fame, for this much recognition.
All right, so right now Terran with a little bit of map control. That will change, though, when the links come out here. And he looks like you're right, Artosis. He is going to go ahead and go for reactored Hellions.
Yeah. And, obviously it's a great opener. He can slow down any creep spread. He can slow down a third base. Where are you going to take a third base quickly against reactored Hellions? You're simply not. You can't kill the rocks because his Hellions are out there. You can't even get a drone out, but if you could, where would it go? Hide somewhere on the map. If Terran scouts it, the thing is dead. So it's, again, a great opening by MMA. More economical than the last game, but the map, is a map that definitely you can get away with this on.
As we can see here, the SCV continuing to scout around now. DRG, so far, economically, he looks fine. This is very common for DRG to have one drone on the gas at this point in time in the game.
Yeah.
That is his style.
Definitely. We do see it now. It's time to take this expansion. Speed almost on a ton of drones on the way. Multiple barracks going up. Just completely standard by both players, which it's nice to see, man. You get to this finals and you want to see the best games possible, and these two have some of the best standard TVZ and ZBT in the whole world, if not the best.
If you guys at home, if you are trying to study a player, whether you're a Zerg or a Terran, these are two guys where if you copy their builds, you're going to be safe.
Yes.
You will improve, you will win games if you can just get the build order down to a T. And look at that evolution chamber placement. That is so smart.
Yep.
Oh my God, no way he's going to slip them there to the upper right and try to hit workers that way.
Look at that, canceling the creep tumor as soon as the Hellion goes over there. DRG on top of things, does not want to lose his creep tumors right now. Each one of them represents 25 energy from a queen, something he cannot waste against a player the caliber of MMA. So we still have some Hellions popping out, so Starport on the way as well as Stim. Still very standard by MMA. DRG on the other hand getting a Baneling Nest. A little bit defensive there as well as melee attack, and of course that macro hatchet we've seen building for quite some time.
Doing a really good job here, just staying on the creep. Actually scans and takes out that creep tumor. Nice, and he's even going to get this one as well. And the tree's on fire.
He has to be careful. It looks like that creep tumor is going to go too.
You can't leave the Christmas lights plugged in all like that, you know? It's not good.
Well, he didn't quite get that creep tumor yet, but that one might go down as well. Very annoying for DRG. Knowing creep spread is something that could end up winning him the game later on. And down goes another creep tumor. And look at that, he lifts up the spine crawler, but that would have been too dangerous. DRG actually had a death trap for Hellions in there. He had 2 queens to flank. Zerglings hold him still, and the second spine crawler about to pop.
Now, the medevac's about to come out now, and then he will lift the starport up, land that at the reactor, and have reactor. No, he's not. I am sorry. That's actually a little bit surprising. He's going to move the barracks there. That's interesting. I think he might be gearing up for a very specific timing push in that case.
I think you're actually exactly right, Tasteless. And it could be a good call, because when you keep a Zerg on 2 base, they try to drone a lot and tech up real quick. Now, if with the 3 hatcheries, DRG definitely has the possibility of making some extra links, some extra Banes, and if he does so, MMA not going to do a lot of damage then.
Now he sees right that it's DRG's clearly going to want to take that 3rd base. Looks like he wants to drop here about the time that this drop is deflected. He can then send that back home and start this push, because I think it's going to happen when combat shields finish. He's probably going to leave when siege mode finishes.
I'd be very right on that, Tasteless. We will see +1 on the way. Baneling speed, and in fact, he's going now. He's getting ready. And the Spire is not yet halfway done. But in this situation, Baneling speed much more important than the Spire. All you have to do is erase this army. You know, 4 or 5 meters, they aren't going to do anything. But 20 Banelings, yeah, they can definitely help out.
Okay, here comes the siege tanks. They're going to be sieged up. He may make some bunkers over here. He may actually want to end the game with this push specifically. Note how he's spreading out the siege tanks and the bunkers so that way it's pretty difficult to actually have one Baneling hit everything.
Few Marines on the high ground, a lot for vision, a lot for harassment. Baneling speed, not quite done, but almost. Those bunkers going to be so useful when the Lings and Banelings do come in. More and more Lings are on the way. Baneling speed is about to finish, and as soon as it finishes, expect for DRG to start moving forward.
The bunkers are going to finish at the exact same time. He will be able to get inside of there.
Baneling speed is done, and he's going for it. A Zergling flank as well, targeting down siege tanks with Zerglings. The Banelings rolling past. They want to hit these Marines. Beautiful micro right there by MMA. But DRG cracking the contain, getting rid of the bunkers and the siege tanks, the 2 most important parts.
And now he's going to go over the spine crawler scanning, see that in fact the Banelings are on the way here. They're not yet finished. He goes for the evolution chamber, gets it, and then backs up.
MMA continuing to do loads of damage. The Spire is done. No mutas on the way yet. Just a lot of Zerglings. Now, will we see a small counterattack? You know, he has taken into consideration how many siege tanks will be done. Oh my God! A huge siege tank loss is exactly what we're watching right here. This is going to leave him with perhaps 1 siege tank at home, which makes any Baneling Zergling counterattack 1,000 times more powerful. So MMA, he's going to have to get home, get behind his wall, and for now, map dominance does go to DRG.
Yeah, DRG, that's one thing going in his favor. He is getting the 3rd base up. I do love MMA taking the hidden base. In the center right, it's a really smart move. There's a very low chance DRG is going to check there, considering he is way behind right now at 104 supply to 113, and losing that evolution chamber, so he's going to be behind in the upgrade war as well.
Indeed he is, but a lot of mutas now popping out. Looks like he wants to start doing a bit of harassment, but you know, he did not hit right away, which is fine. It looks like DRG just very confident if he gets into a little bit of a longer game, which is exactly what we're in now. Similar supplies, and we'll have to see what kind of harassment can he get done with the speed. A good turret placement there, but delaying the second.
All right, looks like the mutas are going to come back. Now, remember what Artosis talked about. There's a real art to the way you send the mutalisks to what location, where, what you hit, when you pull out. And, you know, if he could pull some of that off, he might catch up here. But at the moment, DRG has not managed to do basically any damage with Mutas.
Well, taking out a few Hellions, getting rid of those watchtowers. He does have a good little group of Zerglings around here. MMA stimming and running home, knowing that his Medivacs and Marines' lives would be forfeit against that mobile army of DRG.
I'm curious to see if he's going to make a planetary or an orbital over here in the center right hidden base location. And a planetary.
Yeah. Good choice. Of course, you don't really have any units up there. You have to stop that Zergling harassment. But great turrets so far. Look at this DRG having a hard time of things. But going right after the turrets, and he's going to take both of them out in a matter of seconds. Stim of the Marines. He baits out that stim and gets out of there. Very good harassment thus far.
Uh-oh, is he gonna? No, he turns down at the last second. And remember, MMA has to be very careful. He's moving around on the map with the small groups of units that could just become overwhelmed.
Now, very interesting. DRG is starting to pump out a lot of Zerglings and Banelings, so he may be going for a little 3-base timing here to try to bust up some of the army of his opponent. Of course, his supply is getting pretty high. He's at 155 to 140, but, you know, MMA definitely is not going to attack anytime soon since he snuck that base. Oh, wait a minute. Did he actually? He scouted it.
Sees it.
Oh.
He needs to get the Mutas over there first. I would definitely throw up another turret.
Yeah, you got to get a lot of turrets over there. In fact, he might even use some Banelings, but he's got to be really careful with that. In fact, he looks like he is definitely going to use some Banelings.
If he uses the Banelings and destroys it, Terran does have the possibility of counterattacking. That's so many Banelings to just get rid of a planetary.
Yeah, that is certainly true, and looks like he's going to be going for it shortly here, Tasis. There's a Thor out on the map as well to try to stop these Mutas, slow them down a bit, and he's going for it, but MMA knows all about it. His scan did land right on the army, and going for it now. The Mutas targeting it down, and Banelings, okay, taking it out, not losing all that much. Some good damage dealt by Zerglings and Mutas as well, but here we go.
Nice.
MMA has trapped him. Oh my god, these Banelings going back into siege tank line, and MMA's micro is just too good. Look at these splits. Oh, absolutely crazy. Beautiful.
Oh my god.
What?
I cannot believe how beautifully he controlled that. And there's a drop over here as well, and the Queen goes down.
Oh my god, MMA is everywhere. DRG in so much trouble right now. MMA, despite losing that base, moves up, traps the remaining pieces of the army. DRG sent everything over there, so then he lost everything except for his Mutas. Beautifully done by MMA. And as you said, Tasis, he sees that he has a little timing window where he can move out on the map a bit more.
And I'm not sure if he wants to push or not yet, but he's got to be careful because a similar situation can happen once again MMA if he loses his army, where he is just going to get so behind. And then DRG's going to have map control again.
DRG right now wants to set up a big flank if at all possible. If he can kill that army that is out in the middle of the map, he's going to be in such a great spot. But look at this, the counterattack not going to work with the depots there. Very well done. But this command center's life is going to be over shortly, Tasis, if he does target that. But look at this, MMA stimming now, running in with his entire army. DRG can get out of there. That was a huge stim.
Yeah, that was actually maybe over stim there. But look, I mean, he's going to be 3-base for 3-base right now. It is 164 supply to 148 now for MMA.
Well, resetting up that expansion now, keeping those upgrades going. +3 attack on the way, whereas +2 melee and +1 Muta armor on the way for DRG. So MMA definitely dominating in upgrades so far, but his 3rd base just now starting. We are going to really need to see an additional base out of DRG pretty quickly here.
All right, so he's going to send the medevac down here. He wants to get the Mutalisks out of position here. Oh, I think we had a brief engagement there. And going to get at least 1 Muta. 2.
Is he really? Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, what is this? But this looks good, and oh my god, the Banelings coming in. Does not want to use those yet, though. Targeting down Mutas. Beautiful micro there by MMA. Taking out as many Mutas as possible, ignoring the Zerglings, knowing that they are worthless.
All right, the hatchery is on the way now. This is
very well
heating up, Artosis.
Yeah, and it looks like he is going to find that dropship. Small victory there for DRG. He is up in supply, as we see. And it looks like we still don't have a hive on the way, but the infestation pit is out. So whether he wants to use that for infestors, the hive starts just as I say that. And look at this. Nice harassment going in the back. He figures MMA is not going to be looking as hard for this. In fact, he may want to go after these Marines. He's got to be careful. They have great upgrades. More and more Marines do come down. As long as he has overwhelming mutas, he can come in. But as the medevac and more Marines come from the other side, a very smart withdrawal by DRG's mutas.
All right, he's moving out now with the siege tanks, the Marines, the Thors. But he's probably going to send a little bit more than that to make this work.
Well, a bunch of upgrades about to finish for DRG right now. The +2 melee and +1 mutalisk armor. Definitely going to help out quite a bit. His hive about half done. He needs to buy more time. He's not ready. Oh no!
Wow.
Oh, a sick hit on those clump mutas with a splash damage of the Thor. And this drop, he's way out of position to try to deal with the drop that's coming from MMA right now into his main.
Yeah, MMA can do a lot of damage here.
Checking for any possible expansions over in this area.
Both players at about even supply here.
Oh, look at this.
And here comes the drop now.
I don't know if we have any Zerglings anywhere nearby. And if he can target down some important tech trucks, that could be huge. Going now after missile turrets. Very well done harassment by both players.
Nice control here. Picks up and moves out yet again.
You know, a few mutas do pop out, but you know, a really smart harassment there by MMA, knowing where the most of the mutas were and harassing somewhere very far away with his medevac.
Yeah, great move there. The muta's now flying back, but he's got to be careful. There are two Thors there. Stimming, hitting the hatchery. Can he get the hatchery in time? The Zerg turns around when he realizes it's a potential trap.
Such a smart move by MMA. He was all set up to possibly kill off the army if it tried to come and try to help this base. So that base will in fact go down. It looks like DRG has decided he cannot live without that base. He's down in supply. And
He needs to shut the door.
Oh, sick timing to close that up. Does he have enough in here?
He needs to run with those SCVs.
Banelings!
He's coming in.
And the siege tank, beautiful micro by MMA.
Oh my God, he shot down every Baneling before he could do the damage necessary.
Oh God, DRG with almost nothing left. Erasing little pieces of army down here, but his supply has plummeted. It's at 116 against the 144 of MMA. MMA gonna go up to 4 bases while DRG stuck on 3.
And this is a bad situation to be in right when you're trying to switch to Broodlords. You want to have a very solid army.
You really need that 4 bases, man. You can.
Yeah.
3 bases is not enough gas to truly support a hive tech army, and DRG knows that. He knows he's in trouble. In fact, he spent a lot of gas on those infestors. He's gonna really have to make those worth their money if he wants to come back in this game.
All right, another big question is, will MMA's base in the center right become up and running, and will it have enough defense there? You can see another drone sent out here to expand, but MMA is seemingly everywhere.
Indeed, but DRG's mutos are everywhere as well. How can two things occupy the same space? Only a scientist would know. But he's going to take down this man center and no 4th base. In fact, wait a minute. Marines coming up here.
Oh my God, at the last second, actually.
And he's still going to get it, yeah. Is he?
No.
Oh, wait, no, I guess he's not.
He knows he's low enough on a ground army that if he lost those mutas, the game would end.
By the way, that's why Leenock goes double spires, so that they can't just send a few Marines to save a base like that. Anyway, so here we go. He's got these. Oh, doesn't want to use Banelings on those. That would be a waste. MMA still has a bunch of units in the middle that aren't really protected all that well. This would be a great timing for DRG to go remove that army if he could figure it out. Look, see, that's a very small army. He could clean this up so easy as it runs away out of siege mode. But, you know, he doesn't have map hacks. He doesn't actually see everything.
Yeah, he can't see what we can see. Now, the siege tanks, the Marines, the Thors moving out. That's a lot of Thors that can tank a lot.
Well, he's got a few Broodlords here to try to make all those siege tanks unsiege. If they do, in fact, unsiege, the combination of Banelings and the infestors can clean up everything. So we will see. This is nice timing on the Broodlords. And here we go.
He's going for it.
Very nice circling attack here, trying to take out as many siege tanks as possible. He's got to control those Banelings just right. Goodbye, siege tank.
All right, he needs to run. The Broodlords are getting closer and closer and closer.
And he needs just the right engagement here. This is a scary force to engage. He has no Vikings, no ghosts. He is making some Vikings though. Oh man, he's got him on the run, Tasteless. He's gonna try to drop those on the Banelings perhaps.
Oh, that's so smart.
Oh, dropping him behind. Trying to target everything down. And he targets down a lot of the infestors, and in fact, everything goes wrong. Banelings into
Oh
Thors.
my God!
The siege tank drop, taking out infestors left and right.
I can't even believe he thought to do that siege tank drop back there to hit the infestors.
Holy crap, what am I seeing? Marines now starting to clean up absolutely everything with their 3-3 upgrades.
Oh
and DRG.
my God, that may be GG.
Oh my God, GG. Absolute insanity with that final
What
move.
was that?
I got the
Sick final
sickest nerve
bump.
chills.
I can't believe it. He actually picked up the siege tanks. At first we thought he might drop them on the Banelings because they take Banelings aren't that good against him. Then he actually used them to snipe the infestors.
Seriously, yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
think his original thought was, in fact, to drop on the Banelings. Then he realized, wait a minute, these infestors are way behind. He's not doing anything about these drop ships. I'm going to go for it. And it works so well. He sniped some infestors. He got a flank going on the army that should never happen. You can't just stem out with Marines against infestors. So he had the siege tanks there to make it uncomfortable. Everything fell apart. And while that happened, DRG was like looking both places trying to figure it out. And most of the Banelings hit the Thors and then went into planetary fortress range. Everything fell apart. DRG, even in a terrible position, got into a great position, and then MMA way outthought him in the battle.
He actually looked at that situation perfectly and then executed something that is so hard to do. That is so hard to do. With all this other stuff going on when you're still macroing, to make a decision like that, that is going to be, for me at least, one of the most memorable moments I've ever seen in a battle in StarCraft 2. It wasn't just, oh, cool, a nuke landed on a bunch of units, oh, wow, a bunch of Banelings got Psystorm. No, that was actually so perfect. Had he not done that, DRG may have at least gotten the fourth base, or destroyed MMA's fourth base. The game would have gone on. MMA might have lost. Now, DRG losing 2 games in a row, and we said if one of these guys gets too far behind at the start, I don't see him winning right now. I don't know if MMA can be stopped.
I don't know.
We're going to go on a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. Tweet or hashtag GSL on Twitter. See you soon.